It's really hard when your body doesn't function the way it should. So yeah, just being super real. I didn't even ask them for help. I'm not used to a wheelchair. I'm not used to wheeling myself around. Not understanding it myself. Oh, what's wrong? What do you mean? Like, you're young, you're fine. Oh, it's fine. It's just here. Like, I'm so tired of hearing that from people. I had to cancel the flight and the booking. I just wasn't sure what to do because, well, this is a different angle. Hi guys. So I thought I'd explain more from my last video. Yeah, so maybe some of you did not watch the whole thing, but it's been 15 years since I've struggled with this problem, and yeah, it's really not easy, especially when traveling, you know? So like I had the decision to just stay in the United States and just, I know it's not the nicest thought, but it's like, and decompose, right? Like slowly just not be active, and or to travel and to manage the pain. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? If I stayed at home, even walking around the grocery store, like I said in the other video, was an issue. So I mean, what am I gonna do? So yeah, I just try to manage it here, the same way that I would there. Just not standing or walking too much. So yeah, in the other video, of course, you saw me on the wheelchair going through the airport because my issue is cumulative, if you know what I mean. Like, it adds up. Certainly I can start at a bad point though too. I can already have some pain, so then obviously I would choose to not go out that day. But if I have to go out, then yeah. But if I start at a good point where I'm not really feeling pain that day or too much pain, it still adds up. You know, there's no day where I can just feel free and walk as much as I want to. I just can't. You know, it's really sad to say, and that's what I've been dealing with, I think, for many years, of like not understanding it myself and then not knowing how to explain it to people, because you get that feeling like, oh, you know, you're young, and like, of course I've had people tell me like, oh, what's wrong? What do you mean? Like, you're young, you're fine. Oh, it's fine. It's just here. Like, I'm so tired of hearing that from people, you know, like, oh yeah, it's just here. Just here. Like, it, for them, it's a short walk, and like, so yeah, I've had to learn to really just advocate more and more, especially, you know, being in another country. You're going to have language differences too, so you're already not going to understand each other completely sometimes, right? So always planning ahead, and unfortunately, you know, like not trusting other people's judgment, you know, and just really relying on myself. Yeah, it really does suck. So anyways, the most recent issue, I haven't had this issue since I was in the US for some years. Like, my back actually went out, if you know what I mean. Like, I threw my back out, we say. So what that means is like the disc starts bulging. So when this originally happened in 2010, like, I couldn't walk for 2 to 3 months. Had physical therapy, etc., etc. I had to have people come take care of me. You know, slowly got better. Unfortunately, my dad has the same issue, and it happened at the same age, you know, pretty young, like in our 20s. So like I said, yeah, it's been 15 years of this struggle, and like, I have thrown my back out. It feels like when we say that in English, it feels like it's our fault or something, but like, literally, if you know, when you have these back problems, it can be nothing that sets it off. You can be literally doing nothing. You can be walking in your house and it happens. So super frustrating. But yeah, so like the disc was bulging again, and so that means like basically that I can walk for the most part, but I'm bent over. Like if you see like those little old women or little old men walking around bent over, that's how I'm walking. And like I can't go anywhere. I mean, I can barely get to the bathroom when I have this issue. I should not pick up anything, but I've had to take physical therapy several times in my life because of this issue. Um, so after that initial time in 2010, um, yeah, my back did go out. I can't remember, it's hard to remember, but like three, four times. So what that entailed was about 5 to 7 days of bed rest. You know, these painkillers, like it's like it just doesn't help. I mean, especially the over-the-counter ones. I think muscle relaxer helped some. It's hard to say. Like it's been so many years, and I prefer rest over strong medicine. So, I mean, I know other people do other things. Maybe they've had like the steroid shot or injection or whatever, but I never tried that. You know, I've been lucky enough to have jobs where they're either part-time, I can take time off, or like I work from home, or it's just kind of worked out. I mean, so I've never like really had a full-time job for a really long time. Um, so that could be good or bad depending on how you look at it. So never a lot of income, right? Um, which even before I had my back problem, I just money is not my focus. If you know me, you know me. That's not my focus. I want to be happy and free and creative and so anyways, obviously it does impede, you know, my daily life, like cleaning the bathroom, bending, you know, doing my laundry, you know, anything where I have to bend over or like pick up something on the floor. Obviously, during these times when I'm having the acute pain or symptoms, like, nope, if I drop something, it's gonna be on the floor. It's gonna stay there. I don't know. Uh, it's really, really difficult. You know, it's the quality of life. The quality of life is not the same. You know, so I don't know what to call it. You know, I mean I know it's a disability, right? Like it's what do you call it? Invisible disability because people can't usually see it, or it's a cumulative disability, which I've kind of called it. Um, yeah, so I mean, unfortunately, I'm not able to function. My body's not able to function like other people. And I had to look up. I knew there was a time when I stopped being able to sit on the floor, like if you know, you know, your back, your discs, they get condensed or whatever. Like, but yeah, I looked up that year. That was about 2017, I think. And I remember like feeling so like uncomfortable and weird, just like in my mind, like, you know, with older people around me. And like, I also can't sit on the floor. Like, I was like, oh man, I feel bad, you know, but it's like, you just have to stop feeling bad because you just have to speak up to you just have to speak up for yourself and say what you need and what you can and can't do, you know, and that's what I've had to learn over these years too. And I'm still learning and I'm still trying to listen to my body because even I don't know sometimes. Like, I can think like, oh, I feel good today. I have energy. I don't have pain or I don't have much pain or funkiness or weirdness. So let me go and, you know, walk a bit. And sometimes it's not good, you know. Sometimes I overdo things or sometimes I still walk too much. And it's, again, for everybody else, people will be like, what? Like, that's why it's like people just don't understand. But yeah. So learning to just yeah, talk more about it. Obviously, being public about it because right now when my back went out, it's like yeah, I can't do much at all. Like obviously, I can't go out. I had to cancel my flight, cancel my booking, reschedule. Um, yeah, so it's really unfortunate, but hopefully this can help someone to feel more comfortable talking about their issues, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological. This is a safe space for everyone to share. Uh, you know, good. I'm like, I always think just trying to be positive, like I'm an introvert. So, like, good thing I like being by myself and being alone and like having my me time, my free time, doing what I want. But of course, there are times when like I want to go out more or like walk around. Like, I'm obviously in another country. I love the old Medinas. I'd love to be able to wander the Medinas for a long time, but I just can't. I have to be realistic. And yeah. So obviously, it's been many days now. And so, of course, rest helps a lot. Um, but it's really emotional. You don't know what to do, how long it's going to take this time. You're hopeful that it's not going to be long again. You don't know what your body's doing, who's going to help you, who's available. That you're in another country, so like the medicine is different. Maybe things are not as available, etc., etc., etc. Going to the doctor, language differences. Yeah, it's a lot. Of course, sometimes I think about like, should I just go back to the USA? I don't know. Or I'm assuming there may be a point where I have to or need to because yeah. The other thing is, if I could get residency here in Morocco, that would be the most helpful thing physically for me. But, unfortunately, if you want to move to any country, they want you to have a lot of money. And I simply do not make enough money for their requirements, and I don't have enough for there's like two ways I think you can do it. Like if you have like a lump sum, which I don't have that. Nope. Or to make enough every month. Nope, I don't make that. So, yeah. I don't know if there's a way. It's super complicated. So, let me know if you guys have any other questions, just about my journey or if I can help in some way. I know one person was asking about like the wheelchair stuff or just commented about the wheelchair stuff in the airport. Yeah, it's so helpful. Like, oh my God, if you have any pain, if you have chronic pain or your body just doesn't function the way that it's supposed to or it's cumulative or whatever, yeah, having that wheelchair is just, like I would not be able to travel without it for real. But yeah, like a tip is things are a little bit different in Morocco, at least, and maybe you guys have encountered this in other countries, but in the United States, when you go to the airport, like the wheelchair stuff is like at like near the door, right? Like where it should be, right? If you're coming in through the entrance and you're not able to walk well or you've had an injury, whatever it is, you don't want to be walking through the airport or like extra, you know what I mean? So yeah. However, in Morocco, the first time I took a flight, either out of Morocco or within Morocco, I was like, where do I go? And like, you're not sure. I had to ask, sometimes there's a huge line, or at least there used to be. I don't know about these days, but and there's no way I can stand in a line to wait for the wheelchair. Like my back is just, yeah, it's not gonna be able to do that. So I just went straight to the security. I said, I need a wheelchair, and they just said, go through, just go straight through. I'm like, oh, Okay. I mean, you just don't know. Everybody's waiting in line. And again, it's like that. What do you call it? I forget what you call it, but like you think everybody's looking at you. I mean, and maybe they are. They're going to be angry that, like, why are you getting to go through? Like, and that's, when you have an invisible, disability or cumulative disability, like, but you know what? Just advocate for yourself and forget other people's reactions, or you can just ignore them. So anyways, even when you get through that security or that initial point of putting your bag in the machine, if they still do that, I know they had opened up more because it's just so busy here in Morocco, but the wheelchair stuff is not even near the front door. So yeah, I've had to wander around, unfortunately. But now I just know to ask just basically anybody walking by with a vest on or whatever, like a yellow vest or orange vest. I'm just like, I need a wheelchair. And like, obviously, if they don't speak English or much English, use your sign language, the universal international sign language, just, of your hand movements, moving like a wheelchair, right? Um, and eventually, like, someone will help you or they'll figure it out because, yeah, I can't, again, be wandering around. Thankfully, some airports are really small, or at least like the, initial area is small. So that's certainly helpful. So yeah, I would suggest just asking anybody and everybody, don't be scared to ask people. It just, if you need help, you need help, don't be shy. So, recently when my back went out and I had to cancel the flight and the booking, I just wasn't sure what to do because I had a little bit of time. I had like 10 days to try to see if my back would heal, see how it goes. So that's what I did. I waited a few days to see how I was feeling. I went ahead and rebooked the flight and booking. Thank God I had some insurance too on the booking because, God, it's expensive. If you're going to Spain, like, man, yeah. I had looked up what you could do, if you have to overstay because of health stuff. I mean, again, just not being in good health with my back, knowing that I'd have to like go and stand and wait and in an office or office building, like I was like, can't do that either. Like even after I feel a bit better, like I can't do that. So, man, yeah. So because I started slowly feeling better, I went ahead and rebooked stuff. So, okay. I am back already now in my bed. um, so I went for like a week again and I booked things for a little bit longer. I'd love to be able to just go and come back quickly, but I know that my back is not having it. There are certain things that I need to do while I'm in Spain or out of the country. And I know that I need days in between to rest. So yeah, it gets more expensive for me. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Like physically and then mentally, like it makes me want to cry right now because just logistically. Yeah. Uh, so if you guys have chronic pain or disabilities, like I know that you guys understand, and this is why I'm making it, like for me as well, but to hopefully help some other people too feel more comfortable and like have some community because it's really hard when your body doesn't function the way it should, or I don't know how to like term things too because I don't know, like it's just like my body is not able to do what it should do or needs to. So yeah, just being super real and vulnerable with you guys right now. Just the other thing too, it's really sad. Like I went to Madrid, Spain for the first time, to Madrid. I've been to Sevilla. It was really cute before. But yeah, I didn't get to like see anything or like go around. Thankfully, if you guys have seen some of my other social media, I posted a picture. Some angels, this amazing couple. I met them at the airport. You know, we were delayed, which, God, it's a whole other story, right? Like, again, for my back, advocating for myself, etc., etc. Finally finding a place to lay down that's comfortable. But you really have to be assertive, more than assertive. You know what I mean? Like, more than you would just in a daily situation. Like, and to keep pushing. And like, it's a bit cultural too. Just, yeah, keep pushing. Just do it. If you need it, do it, you know? But this couple just, I didn't even ask them for help, and they helped me, like, wheel me around to ask, to advocate for myself. You know, I'm not used to a wheelchair. I'm not used to wheeling myself around. I did cross the border one time in Ceuta, SEPTA, with a wheelchair. Oh, again, thankfully, people just offered to help, you know, like, and I know some people probably don't want help that deal with these things, but if it's like new to you and you're in pain, like, yeah, please ask for help. Ah, man. But yeah, just really sad I didn't get to see stuff in Madrid, but this couple, so we exchanged numbers and they asked me to go out and they offered to like pick me up, and like, so that was super helpful, of course. Like, I have to be like door to door, you know what I mean? Like, get in a car from my door to the next door I'm going, you know what I mean? Like, especially when I'm in this acute pain, I'm traveling, like, oh God, if I'm going anywhere, right? Most of the time I'm just in the bed, especially during these acute times. Yeah. So we went to a mall, and I mean, they knew like the situation, but I still walked a bit too much. Again, normal for most people, but for me, it was still a bit too much, you know. So, but that was the only time I went out. The rest of the time, I was in the hotel. I did go to the pharmacy, of course, for medicine, though, another day. But yeah, even when I'm not having acute symptoms, like I said, I just have to plan accordingly to my body and knowing my body, right? Like, know yourself, know your body, know what you need. Um, So just planning to have days after I travel to rest, like doing nothing, like for real, laying in the bed. And then if I do go out, it's got to be like in the middle of the trip, right? And then I have days. Hopefully, I mean, during these acute times, I need days to rest in between. So I did have like 2 or 3 days in between. Um, but yeah, when I'm not having these acute symptoms, then usually I plan on a day, you know, before I travel. So, yeah, it's a lot. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for sharing your stories. I, again, hope that this can be a community where we can share openly and not judge each other and just be there for each other, because it's hard. It's hard, especially if you're traveling in a whole nother country. Like, please tell me if you're in this same situation, because it's so difficult. I'd love to talk to you, you know? So, anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. And again, let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'm happy to answer or try to explain a bit more. Maybe in another video I can talk about like the specific diagnoses that I have had, etc. Still trying to figure out stuff like that. But hope you're all staying well the best you can. And I love you, my humans. Bring people together and keep it truthful.